Natalie, hey. It's been about a year now since you and I have last talked. Have you been doing pretty good? So what is it you want with me this time? And just like I had remembered, there is no form of friendliness to you at all. Your cute little sister is finally getting back in touch with you, and you're going to treat me with that cold attitude? That's the reason why your family doesn't love you, and you've turned into a sad and disappointing woman. Right? Are you even aware of that? What do you want with me? Well, about that. I'm going to be having my wedding here really soon. I plan to throw the largest wedding ever, so I would like for you to be there as well. I know that I've always had my own things going on, keeping me from ever going to any of the family events and such. But it would be crazy of everyone not to show up at my wedding, especially when I'm your little sister, right? Huh? I have no reason to be going to your wedding. What? I'm not going. There you go. There's my answer to you. What? Wait just a second. What the heck, Natalie? You can't seriously be that crazy, right? I've always been the cute and nice one in the house. How could you ever say something like that to me? And do you have any idea who I've always been to you, Kay? Someone who didn't get the same treatments and privileges as you. Oh, stop talking about all of that stuff. The reason you were never treated the same as me is because you've always been such a slouch. Mom and Dad feel the same way as I do about you. Huh? There were times you would take my lunches and dinners away from me. And there were times you'd take my things from school, like textbooks and my homework, and throw them in the trash. And at certain times, you'd even take things as far as ripping up my clothes and burning all my underwear. All of that led to me becoming a slouch, a Grinch, even when I was around all of you. And that was all because you have such an ugly personality. You really have the worst personality imaginable. And listen, the only way you are ever going to get any sort of treatment from anyone is by fixing that rotten attitude you always have. That's the only thing you can do because there's nothing else about you that's attractive. I mean, take your face, for example. It's ugly. I'm the one who's already married and making a decent living. So please don't comment about me like that until you're on my same level. What? Someone like you actually had the chance to get married? You really have that much hate for me that you didn't even think I could find a partner to marry? I hate having to listen to you always making comments like that. You're never able to do anything ever, yet you got married. That would shock anyone, not just me. But that's great to hear. I was worried about you for a bit since you're so stupid and all. I'm not going to say anything about that, actually. I was always failing my tests and everything, even though I was trying to study so much, which led to me stabbing both Mom and Dad's hopes for me in the back. Aw, how wonderful. At least you're aware of how brainless you are. Luckily, after you were finished with, someone like myself came along and aced all her exams, as well as passed all the top classes in her school. No wonder Mom and Dad love me so much more than you. Anyway, since you have yourself a husband, I want for the both of you to come out to my wedding. I'll make sure to send you guys an invitation as well. I have no clue what nerve you have that allows you to invite me to that wedding. I've already told you I'm not going as well. You are a liar, Natalie. Why have you not come out to see me in my wedding? Because of you, there was an open seat left in my family's section, and you've gone and embarrassed me in front of everyone there. You're an ass, a total jerk. You've gone and completely ruined what was supposed to be my perfect day. Give me my day back. Look, Kay, I already told you before that I would not be coming. Twice, actually. You told me you were coming, and that's why I sent you the invitation. It's not like you even have another little sister whose wedding you can go see, so now you're just being an idiot by skipping out on mine like that. I don't think of you as my older sister anymore now and will be cutting ties to you. Well, that's because I've never had a little sister. What? Because I've never thought of you as one to me. I was planning on cutting ties to you long ago, but forgot to block your phone number. There has never been a little sister in my family, and it's going to stay that way now since you are cutting ties to me finally. What the hell? You're a bitch. How dare you say things like that about me?
Natalie, are you doing all right? You looked really upset just a second ago. Then you just left the house to go outside.
I'm sorry, Martin. I'm just a little pissed off at the moment. Something annoying came up again, and so I wanted to take a moment to cool my head outside in the yard. Actually, I'm going to head to the convenience store down the street for a bit. Anything you want from there? I can grab you a drink or a snack if you're a little hungry.
I guess you can grab me an ice cream or something cold. But anyway, what got you all upset like that? I've never seen you have a face as red as that before.
Actually...
Are you kidding me right now? What was she thinking trying to invite you to her wedding? And now she's acting like she's the victim and everything, and that you owe her an apology or something, after all the crap she'd done to you.
I don't know what to say about all of this now. I didn't think things would come to this with her. It's been a long time since I felt this jittery with rage and anxiety at the same time.
I'm surprised you didn't take things further with her then, being that upset. That's very mature of you. How about we have a few drinks today, and then that might help you settle down a bit.
That sounds great. Will you drink as much as me this time?
Of course I will. It's my job as your husband to make sure you don't get too carried away, unless I stay at the same pace as you.
I'll make sure to pick up a couple of drinks while I'm here then. I'll even get us a pint of whiskey to help settle me down more quickly.
Perfect, and thank you. I'll make something up for us to eat along with those drinks then. And, I'm sure by saying something like this, you'll get a little heated with me. But I am thankful for what your little sister has done.
What?
Well, it's because of what your little sister did I was given the chance to meet with you, right? So even though it may be hard to do this, you should be at least a little bit thankful for what she'd done. Well, I was thankful for her at least. However, now, after what she had done this time, I'm not so sure I can say I appreciate her anymore. Also, it doesn't seem like she learned a single thing after all she had done before.
To that girl? No, to that whole family. They know nothing about learning their lessons or anything, so don't even try to hope for anything from them.
I guess that is true. I may have been thankful, but I'm well aware now that your sister won't change. If she keeps on acting like that, then we're going to have to warn her. So please, next time you have to deal with her, let me know and I will help you out.
Thank you, Martin.
Please don't forget that you are no longer on your own in this world. You have me now, right by your side.
It's all because of you that there were empty seats next to Mom and Dad, and you embarrassed me. You really are the worst. Even my husband says you're the worst. He never knew that you had such a self-centered attitude about everything. He also said your character is the worst and that you are ugly. There is nothing about you that's worthwhile to anyone here. But I'm not the devil. So I'll give you a chance to receive my forgiveness by giving me $1,000 right now and nothing less. Huh? What makes you think that I'd have to pay you anything like that? I don't have that kind of money in my bank account, and no, I don't mean that I'm poor. I just mean I don't have any money that can be handed over to a brainless woman like you. I made sure to ask you for only $1,000, and yet you can't pay me that? You can say you're not poor all you want, but I know deep down you really are without any money. Look, Kay. And what about your husband then? I'm sure since he chose to get married to a useless woman who is both ugly on the inside and outside, he has to be just as brain dead as you. But can't he at least give me $1,000? I was originally going to ask you to pay for my whole wedding, but I'm playing nice and only asking for $1,000. So hurry up and give me that money. Kate, what the hell did you just say? Huh? I'm not playing your dang games anymore, Kay. Did you just say what I thought you said? Were you just making fun of my husband as well? What? Making fun of him? I never said that I was making fun of him. Are you really that immature where you get upset when someone tells you the truth? Grow up already, Natalie. I'm younger than you, and even I know not to get all angry about the truth. Not only have you been making fun of me, but now you're making those terrible comments about my husband. I'm not going to allow that anymore. I am an idiot for thinking there was even an ounce of you that had changed. But since it seems you still can't understand anything you're doing and anything I say to you, I'm going to have to get serious here. Jeez, I don't care to listen to you whine about me. Just hurry up and pay me already. Right now. What the hell, Kate? What do you think you're doing? What? What do I think I'm doing about what? While I was out of the house, you were calling the house phone over and over again. And when my husband finally picked up, you started to pressure him for money? What the hell have you said to my husband? Leave him out of all this. I had to do all of that because you weren't sending me any money. That's what you get for bullying me now. Not only have you gone and ruined my very special day for everyone, but now you're trying to avoid paying that settlement I'm asking for. I have no reason to pay you a frickin' penny, Kay. It's frickin' childish of you to still be bullying me all these years later just because I went and stole your fiancé from you. Natalie, you're my older sister, right? You must be pretty messed up in the head if you're not able to laugh off all the funny things your little sister does. Huh? Who the hell would invite the very same person whose fiancé you stole to your wedding with that man? I would. Because I wanted you there to celebrate me as my older sister. Also, I only said things that were true about your husband when I was on the phone with him today. You're the one with an ugly character. And even though you shouldn't even be able to get married, you found yourself a partner and yet still hid things from him about me. You've committed a scam by marrying him without telling him the truth. You're a criminal now. I feel so bad for your husband now that he had to hear the truth from me. I'm sure he's just as much of an idiot as you are, but to be lied to like that and led into a scam marriage, I feel bad for him. Kay, you cut all of that out right now. And you're the one calling me childish after my fiancé was taken by you? I'm sure you have no idea how that must have felt for me back when you did that. All the pain and misery I had to live through. Why are you getting all angry again? Because you keep on pissing me the hell off. I have been so upset with you these past few years now that I don't ever think there will be a time where I'm not hating your existence. I was going out with your husband all throughout college, and we even had planned to get married. You were even invited to our wedding, Kay. But you were able to do what you wanted when you wanted with the help of those two ignorant parents. And in the end, you went and slept with my fiancé and later took him from me. I've been living a life of hell ever since then, although I never care to share any of it with anyone. What? You're all upset because of something like that? Huh? Listen, Natalie, once everyone had found out I'd been sleeping with your fiancé and we had that family meeting, I said what I wanted to. It was mean of you to date someone as cool as him and not let me take him instead. And I knew that I was meant for him, which is what I told you, yet you still said no. That's why I had to steal him from you. And that's why Mom and Dad both said for you to give him to me and go find someone else. In other words, it's your fault for not being good enough for him back then. And not a single person is blaming me for taking him. Yet you went and held on to all your hate all this time and used that to get in the way of my wedding to him. You are nothing more than a monster now. I hope nobody ever calls you human ever again. Ugh. I see, Kay. I see. So in your mind, you haven't done anything wrong all this time? And that's why even now, years after what you did to me then, you still haven't said any form of an apology. I have nothing to apologize about, so why would I? Anyway, pay me that money. If you don't, I'm going to keep raising the amount of money I want from you. I will not let you get away unpunished after what you did to me and my wedding. You will not be able to run from me now. You're the one who won't be left unpunished this time, Kay. You went and made a name for yourself now in my family by making fun of one of my own. What? I haven't made fun of anyone. When have I ever said anything about Mom or Dad that would be getting you so pissed off now? I've already been mistreated by the three of you and then stabbed in the back when I found someone I loved. There is only one person in my whole life so far who has not treated me like garbage, who is my family, and that's my husband. He is everything to me now, and I don't need anyone else. To me, my family is just him and I. They all aren't family to me, and they never will be. That includes you. To me, you are nothing more than a complete stranger. You are about to get the full wrath of my pent-up anger now that you've gone and hurt my husband like that, you frickin' bitch. Jesus, why would you ever say that? I guess your character has only gotten worse all these years. Do you want to know why I never took you and my ex to court after you guys started having relations? Because I didn't want anything to do with you guys anymore. Also, it was because of you that I was able to find my husband, even if I don't want to accept that. So I thought to myself that as long as I was far away from you and had a life that I could enjoy, I would never have to go back and punish you for what you did to me. But now I can see that there's no point in holding back anymore. Screw being mature about things now. All I want to do is send you and that bastard husband of yours to hell. How dare you talk to me like that when I'm your younger sister? I'm the one who's actually living a decent life and not one filled with things like stupidity and ugliness. You're just jealous of me because you never had a way of giving a wedding, and that's what's led you here. You really think that a CEO and his wife wouldn't be able to hold a wedding after getting married? What? You were able to get my new phone number and everything from the family, but you never asked about where I'm currently living, huh? Right now, my husband and I live in a penthouse. It has windows wrapping around 3/4 of the penthouse, and we can see everything from the city center to the ocean from here. And the biggest seller for this place is the view of the sunset in the evening. That's the kind of life we're getting to live right now, so I wouldn't call us poor or stupid by any means. Huh? Are you completely out of your mind now? You can't be that delusional already, can you? I'll send you some pictures from inside here right now as proof, so please take a close look at all of them. You're lying, right? How can someone like you be able to live in a place like that? Had you never gone and stolen my fiancé from me back then, I would have never had a chance at this kind of lifestyle. I am thankful for that one and only thing, Kay. So thank you. I've been able to find the man of my dreams who I love more than anything else in this world, and have been given a life where I am very well off. Honestly, this is the happiest I've ever been. Your husband, who you just got married to, unfortunately doesn't make the kind of money my husband does. And so you'll never have a shot at a life like mine. What the hell? You are the lowlife. You shouldn't be able to or allowed to have a better life than mine. Natalie! So it really turned out that you have a lot of money, right? That means you can pay for my whole wedding now. It's all because of you that I ended up having a terrible wedding, so you should be fine paying up, right? You already get to live in such a magnificent penthouse out there, so this won't be a problem for you, right? Have you ever looked up the definition of a settlement before? I've already told you I'm not handing any money over to you. Come on. How much longer are you going to do this with me? You are too old now to not be learning your lesson here, so just take responsibility for what you've done and pay up. I'm not sure what all I need to be learning my lesson for and what responsibility I have with you. But I guess I'll hear you out this time since you don't seem to be giving up. Well. So you do know how to behave like an adult. I understand that as an adult, we all have to be responsible for the things we've done and must learn from them so that we never misbehave again. That's why I'm going to make sure you pay up just as much as I'll have to. What? What do you mean by that? Hey, wait a minute, Natalie. What have you done? I just got an envelope in the mail that says I'm being asked to pay a settlement, and it's been sent to me from a legal firm. You happened to be the smart one between the both of us, so you shouldn't need me to explain anything to you as long as you read everything on those documents. That's not what I'm talking about. Why now of all times are you choosing to get this money from me? It doesn't matter what time I chose to ask for a settlement from you. And like I was saying before, I originally wasn't even going to. But then you came back and asked me to come to your wedding, and then got upset with me for not showing up, of course. That all triggered my anger for you again, and so I decided I had no other choice but to do this since you had still not learned a thing. Did you really think you could make it through your whole life without having to take responsibility for having a secret relationship with my fiancé and then stealing him? Are you that much of a dunce? Huh? Don't you dare start calling me the idiot here. You're the one who's pretty much mentally disabled. No point in starting to yell at me again. This is what you get for thinking you were so special and that no one would dare punish you for doing the unthinkable. I'm sure this is all just a fake anyway. What? There's no way someone could actually ask for this kind of money in a settlement, right? This is all a fake, and you're just trying to scam me. Too bad I'm smarter than that. If I were on the same level as you, sure, I would have probably fallen for this, but I'm not. So I'm not being fooled. Is that right? Well, go ahead and keep believing that then. I'd much rather you wait and see what happens when you leave a legal settlement unpaid. Natalie! Why did you send all these papers to my office now as well? And why to my husband's place of work as well? Because of that, some of my coworkers and my boss have found out. It didn't look as though you were going to pay me after I had my lawyer send the papers to your house. So I asked my lawyer to start sending them to your work, as well as to your husband's work. Because of you, my husband is being transferred out of the head office, though. And as for myself, everyone is laughing at me now about how I had to steal my own sister's fiancé in order to get married. And others are talking trash about me in their cubicles. This is the worst outcome. You are practically harassing me now. And all of these things have been done to me before, by you. What? Ah, but you weren't as secretive about all of it, were you? Always coming to me at home and making fun of the grades I had in school, calling me stupid for them. And other times telling me you guys didn't need a brainless freak around and hitting me upside the head for it. And at school, you would walk up to my friends and I, telling them how ugly I was and saying I only made things worse by wearing skirts and things like that. Every time you would do any of those things to me, you would laugh about it with the loudest laugh possible while pointing your finger. Then, when things started to get boring for you, you took things to the next level and would ruin my clothes that I had for school. And even take my stationery things and flush them down the school toilets. And that was... That was all because of you being such a stupid loser. I may not have done as well on things like tests and exams, but when it came to my actual GPA, I was better than you. Sorry that I ended up having something called test anxiety, which led to me failing things like my SAT, but I was still able to get into a good college after. It happened to be the same exact college that your husband went to. So if you're going to call me stupid because of it, then he must be just as stupid. All you really had was a decent history in high school, yet you seem to think that's all that mattered. I can't believe someone who graduated from that medical school is being forced to transfer out of his office now. No way. What are we supposed to do here? I won't be able to pay you that settlement I've been asked for. And my salary is going to go down now after what my boss found out, so I won't even be able to live the life I've had. Why, Natalie? Why are you being such a bitch to your little sister? Hey, would you stop acting like such a victim all the time? And like I said before, I cut ties to you long ago, but just kept forgetting to block your number. What? I've never thought of you as my little sister for as long as I can remember. Maybe you shouldn't have been acting so ignorant by thinking I'd still want to be your sister after what you did. I thought that since you and I hadn't talked in years, you would have understood that I don't want you in my life anymore. I even told Mom and Dad that I don't want anything to do with you guys anymore. What? So you're really cutting ties to everyone? Why? Why? Because I can't stand to think about you guys being a part of my life anymore, and I'm at my limits with everyone. I told them both I won't be going to their funerals and that I don't want anything from them after they die. Although everything was probably going to you anyway. Neither Mom nor Dad have ever thought of me as their daughter, so what's the difference between what I'm doing now and what was going on before? This is why I had said my family is only my husband and that I don't have any little sister. You already showed me that you didn't want to be my little sister anymore when you stole my fiancé from me. But after what you tried this time, I'm going to make you and that cheating bastard pay, literally and metaphorically. No way this is happening. I don't want to fall even lower than my mentally challenged sister. I am not going to pay you anything. Natalie, why are you ignoring me now? You haven't been answering any of my phone calls now. I have been calling you again and again and again, trying to get you to answer, yet you're still not going to pick up? I'm going to keep trying.
Please excuse me. This is Natalie's husband. Natalie has told me she will no longer talk with you anymore, so I'm having to converse with your kind now. So here I go with what I have to say to you. You have been very rude thus far with all the phone calls you've made.
Oh, you're her husband. And get my sister to listen to me already. Right now, she's trying to get me to pay her money for no good reason at all. You, though, you're just as stupid and useless as she is, aren't you? Since you were willing to marry that ugly heap of garbage. But I know you're making far more money than her right now, right? Well, right now, your wife is becoming far too greedy, all because you probably won't let her use any of your money, and now she's targeting me. Go and put a leash on your bitch right now.
And why do I have to listen to you say things like that about me, when I don't even know you that well? Also, the only dog I know of who currently needs to be put on a leash is you.
Huh? Who the hell do you think you are?
Likewise. I can't believe that I'm thankful for a creature like you. Because of what you've done, I was able to go out with Natalie and then marry her. But I've lost that appreciation for you, quite literally this time, and will not allow you to act out of line anymore. You've already gone and tortured my wife enough. And even though you're being punished for it all now, you're still not able to learn a dang thing.
You are seriously making me piss my pants laughing right now. I never thought that the loser my sister chose to marry would be this sad. Stop thinking that you can be a victim now. And I'm not the one who needs to learn anything from this.
You have no right saying that after you went and stole my wife's fiancé and then invited her years later to the wedding of you both.
The only reason my sister had her fiancé stolen from her is because she is the least sexiest woman on the planet. That's what happens when you're born with the qualities of a monkey. The fact that you can't even see and understand that really makes me accept why you were able to marry such an idiot like her.
I can see now why Natalie has had so much trouble with you. You can't listen to anything that's said to you, instead just changing things so that they make you look more and more good. How is she even able to talk with you in the first place?
Huh? You? Are you making fun of me now? You're the idiot.
My name is Martin Conroy.
And who the hell frickin' cares? You are worth so little to this world that you shouldn't even have a name.
I would have thought you would at least know what the name of your employer is.
What?
Currently, you are working for Conroy Group, right? And yet you have no idea who your CEO is. Going to have an emergency meeting with the board to discuss new forms of training for everyone I've employed.
What? Wait a sec. What are you talking about? You're not some CEO.
I'm pretty sure my wife has already told you about how I'm currently a CEO, correct? And just a second ago, you were going off on your employer, your CEO. You know what has to happen to you now, don't you?
What? Don't even try threatening me now. Show me the evidence right now that you're actually my CEO.
If you'd like some evidence, allow me to tell you your current sales for this quarter. That is something no one else in the company besides myself, the board, and you are able to know right now. I'll make sure to delete the message after I show you your numbers. But once you've seen them, you should trust my words, right?
What? No, there's no way. You're actually my CEO?
Honestly, it doesn't matter to me whether you believe my word or not, because you'll come to realize the truth when you are no longer allowed into the office building anymore. You've really gone and done it now, Kay. You not only tortured my wife for years and years, but now you sit there trying to fight with me, your own CEO. From what I've seen today, you are not fit to be working for my company, as you are a major vulnerability to us. I'll make sure the head of HR is aware of this before I take action. He has to be aware that there is someone so immature within our company that they could lead to our downfall if not taken care of now.
Wait a second. What? Are you really my CEO? I'm so sorry. I never actually thought that you could be my CEO of all people. What the heck? My sister really needs to get herself together. Why didn't she tell me more about my brother-in-law sooner? So sorry for the misunderstanding. As a way of saying I'm sorry, would you allow me to take you out for dinner?
No. I no longer have time to waste talking with you. And I don't have the stomach to tolerate your filth anymore. Just because you didn't know who I was doesn't mean you can just say whatever you want about me. You're way too old now to even be thinking something like that, which has led me to think maybe you are hindered mentally in some way. My company does try to be all-inclusive when it comes to who we hire, but when it's someone who cannot be trusted with the job itself, we have to say no. You're fired.
No way! I already have to worry about a settlement, so there's no way you can actually fire me.
You think that being fired is all that's in store for you?
What?
You're not just being fired, but also you'll be taken to court for trying to defame my company and I. The same thing stands with Natalie, as she is my wife. Consider this the end of your life on this earth. I hope you enjoy paying for all your sins.
No, there's no way. I can't. If I have to pay even more money in settlements, I really will not be able to go on living. Help me, please. You're my older brother, right?
Maybe you have a developmental disorder. I'd say once all of this has been settled, go and have a doctor look at you. I'm sure once they are able to diagnose your problem, it will be a lot more easy for you to excuse all that BS you keep spewing. Now you get the hell out of my life, get the hell out of my wife's life, and go burn in hell or something. She has had enough of your crap finally, and I'm in that same boat too.
No. Oh, please forgive me this time. Please, Martin. Listen to this, Martin. I was finally able to get my settlement from her today.
Is that right? Congratulations, Natalie.
I'm sure glad all of that is pretty much over with now, but man, was this a long battle for me. And I'm really sorry that you ended up having to get involved in everything. This was something I should have dealt with alone.
You never got me involved in anything, since it was both of our problem to begin with. So I took responsibility for part of it, and made sure that monster paid for the things she did to you. Also, Natalie, I understand never wanting to get other people involved in your matters, especially when you love them. But I am your husband, which means you need to come to me with all your problems, and ask me for help if you need it. That's what I want from you, and that's what I expect.
I guess you're right. All right, thank you, Martin.
You are welcome. Now, since all of this has happened now, we don't really have to worry about your family anymore. So what do you say we finally have that wedding?
What?
Ever since you left them all, we haven't done anything at all outside of our secret life together. And since you've cut ties to everyone in your family, who cares if they learn I'm a CEO? Kay already found out, so...
Well, no, I want to have that wedding, actually. It's just, I really don't know how to express that I have no family after I left mine.
Well then let's make a family of our own at the wedding. You don't need to have a mom or a dad or siblings there to have a good wedding, as long as the partner you love is with you.
That's right.
I know. So let's take our time and find the perfect place for this wedding.
After everyone around Kay and her husband started to find out that they got married the way they did, after cheating on me and then leaving me behind, they made a break for it to try and get away. Of course, her husband couldn't escape getting transferred, and Kay couldn't dodge the fact that she'd get fired. They had to move across the US in the transfer and are now both living in a really crappy apartment in LA because they can't really afford any of the housing where the office is located. With Kay being jobless and her husband not making as much anymore, they get into fights on the daily about money and their life choices, to the point they've started to have affairs of their own now. All of this was told to me as secondhand information from one of my old friends who also happens to be a friend of my sister, so who knows if it's all correct or not. But the last thing I was told about their lives over in LA is that they both found out one another had started to cheat, but couldn't get a divorce because without each other, they could not support themselves. Kay needed her husband's money in order to be fed, and her husband needed her in order to have someone home cooking. And they both knew they couldn't rely on their secret partners after a divorce because they were also married, so the choice was made to continue having the affairs and just living with it. But that would all change when one day Kay found out she was pregnant and ended up in the hospital due to her husband trying to kill her. She was in the ICU the last time she was able to text her friend anything, and her friend is not too sure what happened to her after that because she's been quiet ever since. As for myself and Martin, we went and finally gave our wedding to all our closest friends and my husband's family, and from there went and started trying for a baby. It had taken us a few months of trying, and while we were at it, I chose to leave my job in order to focus solely on being home and relaxing after the mess I had been through. And what do you know? It really did help to completely remove most of that stress from my life. As only a few weeks after leaving, I was tested positive. At this point in time, I'm on my 3rd month of being pregnant, but I do have my worries now about becoming a mother. I don't want to end up becoming the same woman my mom was to me, but I'm not sure how to avoid all of that. And there are also the worries about what could happen if I have more kids and they'll treat one another like Kay treated me. But I know deep down that as long as I have my husband with me, myself and the kids we may have will be in good hands. That's what I believe, and so far Martin has given me every reason to believe so.